Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're tackling something that literally keeps business owners awake at night, waking up in a cold sweat, staring at the ceiling, wondering, are we actually going to make payroll this week? We are going through a complete business budgeting masterclass today, and our goal? It's simple. We want to turn your budget from some boring basic spreadsheet into a literal survival tool for your business. Okay, let's kick things off with a terrifying paradox. Why is it that profitable businesses completely run out of cash? I mean, it's totally counterintuitive, right? A business can be having an amazing year, pulling in incredibly strong sales, the revenue looks fantastic, customers are knocking down the door, and yet the cash just vanishes surprisingly fast. That vanishing act is the reality check we're focusing on today. To get us from those budget illusions to total financial resilience, here is our game plan. We're going to cover why most budgets fail, how to actually forecast revenue and costs, the secrets to surviving those inevitable bad sales months, and finally, how to adjust your budget for rapid growth. Let's jump right in. Part 1. Why most budgets fail. You know, it almost always boils down to one fatal flaw right out of the gate in the planning phase. There is a massive, dangerous gap between facts and assumptions. Just imagine a business owner who really wants to hit $600,000 in revenue this year. So what do? They just plug that nice round number into the top of their spreadsheet. Then they go and build all their expenses around it. They're hiring, they're ramping up marketing, maybe leasing a fancy new office. But here's the catch. That $600,000? It's a pure assumption. It's based on what they want to earn, not what they can reasonably expect to earn. If you want to avoid committing to payroll and rent long before the sales actually roll in, your budget has to fiercely separate cold, hard facts like last year's sales or currently signed contracts from wishful assumptions like banking on 50% growth or clients who haven't even signed yet. There is a guiding philosophy in finance that really hits the nail on the head. It says that the strongest budget is not the one showing the highest expected profit. It helps management make good decisions when actual results are different. That is the core of real financial planning. Your budget isn't just some document that looks amazing on paper to make you feel good. It's a dynamic, living tool built for reality. It literally exists to guide you when things, inevitably, don't go according to plan. Part 2. Forecasting revenue and expenses. So, how do we actually build that reality into our numbers? Well, we construct realistic expectations by breaking down the actual fundamental drivers of your money. Instead of just pulling a revenue goal out of thin air, you have to break it down into things you can measure. Say an online business expects 2,000 customers, and the average purchase is $150. Boom, that gives you an expected annual revenue of $300,000. The beauty of this is that now, as a manager, you can challenge those underlying assumptions. Do you actually have the operational capacity to serve 2,000 customers? Is $150 a realistic average based on your historical facts? By interrogating the small pieces, you build a revenue forecast that is actually grounded in reality. But listen, bringing the money in, that is only half the battle. Let's say your company makes a $100 sale. Seeing that money hit the bank account is incredibly tempting. It's so easy for an owner to see the balance growing and just think, great, let's go buy that new equipment. But we need to break that down. 40% of that $100 might be eaten up immediately by production and delivery. Another 40% might be reserved for fixed costs and obligations like your rent and payroll. That leaves just 20% as actual available profit. The lesson here? Just because $100 is sitting in the bank doesn't mean it's all yours to spend. You have to assign that money intentionally before management accidentally spends it on something else. And that intentionality, it absolutely applies to timing too. It's crazy how many business costs are entirely predictable, yet they still feel like these massive out-of-nowhere surprises. Take a massive $12,000 insurance premium due in December. If you wait until December to even think about it, suddenly your normal $30,000 expense month balloons into a $42,000 month. That is a recipe for a massive cash flow crisis. There is a much, much better way to handle this. You reserve $1,000 every single month from January all the way to November. By taking these irregular annual costs and converting them into monthly reserves, you completely eliminate the shock of that expected expense at the end of the year. Now, of course, reality dictates that things are still going to fluctuate, which is exactly why tracking your performance monthly is so vital. Imagine your budgeted expenses are $20,000, but your actual expenses hit $24,000. Right there, you've got a $4,000 leak. Now, in a single month, maybe you can absorb that. But if you ignore it and repeat that same difference for an entire year, you are staring down the barrel of a catastrophic $48,000 financial gap. By checking this every single month, you catch the leak early, while you actually still have time to step in and fix the plumbing. So that gap we just talked about has a formal name: budget variance. It's literally just the difference between what the business expected to happen and what actually happened during a specific financial period. But, and this is super important, not all variance is bad. For instance, what if your marketing spending is over budget by 20%, but your customer acquisition costs actually dropped and your highly profitable sales skyrocketed? That's not a financial problem at all. That is a massively productive investment that you should probably investigate and maybe even double down on. The budget flags the variance, but it's up to you to interpret what it means. Part 3, Surviving Bad Sales Months. All right, now that we know how to track the numbers, let's pivot to building a true financial fortress. Because, let me tell you, waiting for a revenue decline to actually happen makes financial decisions infinitely harder. Let's think about the number $120,000. If a business spends $40,000 a month just to keep the lights on and maintain basic operations, a 3-month operating reserve is $120,000. You can think of this as your absolute most crucial financial breathing room. If a major customer suddenly delays payment for a few weeks, your rent, your payroll, and your suppliers, they still need to be paid. Having this cash intentionally set aside means you won't have to scramble for expensive short-term loans, and you won't be forced into making terrible, panic-driven decisions. But keep in mind that 3-month rule of thumb, it's just a baseline. It's definitely not a blanket rule. There are several factors that dictate how large your reserve actually needs to be. Take customer concentration, for example. If half of your entire revenue comes from a single massive customer, your concentration risk is huge. If they decide to leave or even just delay a payment, a standard 3-month cushion probably isn't going to cut it. You have to tailor your cash reserves to the unique realities and the specific risks of your own operation. Seasonality, payment cycles, industry risk, it all plays a part. And what happens if that sales drop isn't just a temporary blip? Let's look at a downside scenario comparing a normal month to a bad month for, say, a restaurant. In a normal month, they pull in $100,000 in sales. Things are great. But in a bad month, foot traffic drops and sales fall to $75,000. Here is the really terrifying part. While variable costs, like the actual food ingredients, might drop a bit because you're serving fewer people, your fixed costs, like your rent, your insurance, and your management salaries, they remain completely unchanged. Fixed costs will absolutely crush your profits when revenue dips. This proves exactly why you need a downside scenario playbook prepared long before that bad month ever actually hits. When that bad month does inevitably hit, how do you decide what to cut? You need to treat this like a literal survival checklist and ruthlessly evaluate every single expense. You need to ask yourself 3 things. 1, what does the spending actually accomplish? 2, what happens if we remove it? And 3, what expected return does it provide? Blindly cutting a highly productive $5,000 marketing channel just to save some quick cash might temporarily look good on the balance sheet, but it was severely worse in your revenue problem in the coming months. You've got to cut the dead weight while fiercely protecting the investments that are actually driving your revenue. Part 4, Adjusting Budgets for Growth. This brings us to our final offensive maneuver, growth. It sounds like a great problem to have, right? But rapid growth brings its own set of incredibly dangerous financial pressures that an outdated budget simply cannot handle. Here is one of the most vital lessons for any scaling business. Growth can consume cash long before it actually produces cash. The stark reality is that landing a massive, game-changing new contract often requires you to immediately start spending money on raw materials, new inventory, and expanded payroll long before that new customer actually pays their first invoice. Let's visualize that trap for a second. Imagine you just landed a $200,000 manufacturing order. The future payout looks fantastic, right? But actually producing that order requires $80,000 in upfront material and labor costs today. That is $80,000 of your working capital, the everyday cash you desperately need to keep the lights on, tied up right now. If your static annual budget didn't anticipate this kind of rapid growth, the intense financial pressure could literally cause you to run out of cash while trying to fulfill the biggest order in your company's history. To survive this kind of explosive growth, you need to throw out your static annual plan and replace it with a dynamic 12-month rolling plan. You must map your operations month by month, add direct costs to your sales, separate out your large financial commitments, and meticulously calculate your monthly cash flow. By continuously forecasting the upcoming 12 months using current, real-time performance data, rather than outdated assumptions from last January, you dynamically align your spending with your actual cash flow reality. The crucial takeaway here is that a budget should guide your decisions, not prevent management from responding to reality. When your business fundamentally changes, whether that's due to a sudden terrifying drop in sales or a massive exciting surge in growth, your financial plan absolutely must adapt with it. It is there to protect your essential operations and fuel your expansion in a way that you can actually afford. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Does your current budget predict a perfect, fantasy future, or does it give you the financial playbook to survive reality? I want to challenge you to take a hard look at your financial tools today. Please don't wait for a cash flow crisis to find out if your assumptions actually hold up. Take proactive control, prepare your reserves, and turn your budget into a dynamic tool that empowers your business to thrive, no matter